I'm Farah, and today I'm going to continue with my looking at the beacon update and having a look at experimental branch 906 or 0906 or the 9th of June. Um, so the most recent patch fixes a few things. It appears to fix the rendering issue with the stone and timber. I'm not convinced it's totally fixed everything there, because I've been having a look. We'll maybe have a quick look today, but I've been having a look at it. It feels like we're still on a lower resolution for the textures. But apart from that, we can at least get the different parts. So where it says fixed an issue, let's see if I've got it on the screen here. It's right down the bottom. Fixed an issue that could cause parts to be placed with incorrect textures. So that was the thing about weathering textures. But let's go back to the top. Fix an issue that could prevent missions and planetary charts from successfully locating an autophase settlement. Now, I think that might be a bit of a catch-all. It might also be about being able to start them. We'll see. Fix an issue that prevented the icons at the top of the settlement history page from updating. Settlement history page is a bit of a problem. I'll talk about that in a bit. Fixed a rare issue that could block autophase monoliths from displaying their interactions. Autophase well, I'm not even sure what that is. What do we think autophase monoliths are? Fixed a camera glitch where re-interacting with a settlement building after cancelling a cutscene. There was a problem, and I think there still is a little bit of a problem where when you go up and you can see the if you've got a building that starts to celebrate after you've upgraded it, it seems to have a problem if you suddenly zoom back down and you kick yourself out of that screen. It seemed to stop you interacting with the building. So they appear to have fixed that, but there may be other issues around there still. Fix an issue that caused autophase settlers to be uncloaked. I'm a bit confused by that because are they supposed to be cloaked on autophase settlements? I don't know. Fixed an issue in the mission log for missions tracking settlers' progress on expeditions. That was the problem where it was just giving like placeholder text instead of the name of the thing. That does seem to have been fixed now. Fixed an issue that could cause squadron pilots to visit settlements not owned by the player. So you turn up and there are your squadron pilots. That'd be quite interesting. I didn't notice that before. Fixed an issue that prevented the wonders section of the catalogue from displaying images. And these all seem to be wonders thing. I didn't notice any wonders problems, but I haven't really focused on it. And this is about English language when viewing starship details. Fix an issue prevented some autophage parts being added in beacon from being placed. I did know that some people are saying when they place the autophage parts, they were only getting the lighting effects and not the actual parts. So I haven't really played much with the parts yet. And then after the thing about the base parts, it says fixed a rendering issue with the timber wall and fixed a rendering issue with the thin stone wall. I don't know if they were just rendering badly, but they're definitely not massively improved. And then there's a rare crash, optimized on switch 2, a crash that occurred when loading a save with an exocraft in an invalid position. There are a few people saying that they're unable to open their save, so maybe they have an exocraft somewhere that's confusing the system. I don't know. That's a bit odd. Now, one of the things I've done in the meantime, talking about the settlement history page, is I corrected in the save file using the epoch and epoch converter. It's at epochconverter.com. This is my favorite page to just quickly get a universal timestamp. So I put in the date of the beacon update, so the year 2025, month 6, day 4, and then I put in say 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I wouldn't be sure exactly when I found my settlements. And then I put this timestamp into my save file with a .0 at the end because that seemed to be the format that it wanted. We wanted a .0 at the end. And that's fixed my standard save from saying something like 54 years or whatever it was, probably since 1970, which would be the beginning of the timestamp system. Changed it from that to the date. So it now should say a few days. It should say 5 days. Let's get rid of the browser thing. Let's put my headphones on. Could you hear me at all? I just realised my microphone was a mile away from me. I'm probably sounding very, very low. I hope I was speaking loud enough to be picked up by the microphone. Hi, Alphys. Hi, Gravnor. Thanks for the confirmation. I'm probably louder now. I'm speaking right into the microphone now. So let's pull up the game. So as I say, I'm pulling up the experimental branch. I've got a bit of a cold. I'm just setting in. I'm hoping to stave it off, but sitting around in a computer room, which is kind of just the perfect temperature to incubate a cold. I may finish early. We'll see. I'll at least try and stick around for an hour and a half, so, but we'll see how it goes. So if I go to my original save, something else I noticed while looking in Reddit pages, and people were discussing whether or not they've seen any multi-tools in their settlements. And I realized that I only had one settlement that had a factory, and that's a bit strange. So I had loads and loads of settlement buildings, one settlement with a factory, and only one factory. Camera a bit more centered. That's better. So where am I? Which... I go to... First of all, there's still an issue here. When we go straight to the settlements register, sometimes it doesn't show the right settlements. It does on this save, it seems. We'll check that on other saves in a bit. Yeah, none of these settlements have a factory at all. They all have farm buildings only. I was beginning to wonder if they'd disappeared. So the farm buildings have these in. Hi, Serious Lees. Hi, Grimy. That's proving useful. I put a atmosphere harvester here. I'm not sure if I've got anything to pick up here, but let's do it in the right order. Now, I've noticed some of these features that are being added are kind of a bit suspicious. I mean, that one's useful, a desalination array. That will probably change things. For instance, if we go... I'm going to quickly jot down those figures. Yeah, big book. It's a paper. 201,853 and 366,126. Now it says it's going to change the debt, I believe. So it's going to add to the debt, which is not a great thing, but... That's gone. Yeah, so that's increased productivity by about 68,000. But it didn't say it was, and it doesn't give it at the top left-hand corner. So it must be from this. This must be adding that productivity. And the maintenance cost is the same. It's just added to the debt. No, I've never thought that settlements all get the same buildings. I think that they may have preset buildings per settlement. So this is an agri module upgraded to B, so that'll increase my production. So I don't think it's this save I have the factories on. No, it isn't. So I'm going to jump out of this save and go straight to the save I had the factory, and then we'll maybe come back to these orders in a bit. So, oh no, I know what I was going to show you on here. On here, on the so this one had the wrong time on it. It had about 54 years. And now when I've changed it with that universal date stamp, it now says 5 days. It wasn't being fixed by any of the things, and I couldn't see how it could be fixed. It seemed like one of those faults that was just never going to go away unless I changed it manually. I mean, they might potentially change anything that's longer than the beginning of this patch to the beginning of this patch. So they might, all of them might suddenly become 5 days if they suddenly fixed it today. But other than that, I couldn't see a way it was ever going to get fixed, so I fixed it myself manually. So I believe it's in my perma save, and also I've got one being built in my after Titan save. So let's go to the perma save first. Now, I can't remember. I think I was upgrading the factory to see, because it's my only factory, I wanted to see how the multi-tool worked on the upgrade. So it depends if this upgrade is complete or not. No, it's not. How long have we got to go? 15 minutes. So we'll come back to this one. In here was a multi-tool cabinet, almost like on a multi-tool stand, on the same stand as the base part that is freestanding for the trade terminal. So let's go to my other save. So let's switch out of just chatting now as well. And see if this one's finished building, so I can show you what I mean. Because I'm wondering, other people have also been saying that they haven't seen factories, and I'm wondering if factories aren't as common. Why am we completely dark here? What's going on? Okay. I don't know. Maybe I was just, camera was just inside that building or something. Here it is being built at the moment. That can't be much left to go. That's 20 minutes, so we're going to be a little while before we can show you the factories. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, it's not clear to me. Going back to what Sirius Lee's point, so definitely not all settlements have the same buildings. It's not clear to me exactly how building settlements develop. There's been a lot of suggestion by people that have done more research into it than I have earlier on when they first came out. That you don't really have an awful lot of control about what your settlement building mix is. If you just keep selecting all of the buildings, eventually you get all the buildings you would always have had for that settlement based on the seed of that settlement. But I'm not 100% sure if that's true or not. I mean, it's notable that my biggest settlement is not that large. I mean, it's not small, but it's I think somebody was saying the other day they had a building, they had a settlement with 50 odd buildings in it, whereas mine was high 20s, maybe 30. I think that's as much as I've ever seen in my saves. And I never got any more building opportunities after that. So let's find out what we actually have to do in this save. Might as well just press it. Make a policy to see. I don't think my happiness isn't that bad. I mean, it's in the red, but it's not that bad. So I'm tempted to go for the maintenance just because that's a permanent change. Makes it a little bit more. This one is going to take forever. I don't know if this will ever reset, but 114 hours is quite a lot. It didn't used to stay just ticking down. It used to reset itself every now and again. Do I have anything being produced here? Oh no, I haven't, because I've got that factory. I noticed something else that I hadn't noticed before, or maybe I had, but you can view your settlement status from the teleport system. You can decide which one you want to go to, if you've got more than one to go to. I've begun a new settlement in my main save, in my original save. Yes, what's first?
Weather warning, incoming storm.
These seem to give blessings. There doesn't seem to be anything else that they do. You can dismiss them and ignore it completely. It all kind of depends. What we don't know yet, or what I don't know yet, is whether or not this system of the settlement features, once it gets to 18, which is the third page, does it do what it used to do of only replacing negatives, and then once they're all full of positives, stays static? Or will they change if you choose to do other things? I'm not adverse to a blessing, though. Let's see what it gave me. Blessed by the earth. Should have checked the numbers again to see if it changes productivity, but I didn't. Right, so where are we? Is there anything? I don't think I've got anything developing here. Application. Is there anything actually profitable here? Sleep pods, meta depot, advanced habitation unit, large housing. It's a bit of a deadbeat town, this one. Hydroponics at B, maybe that'll be worth updating. Oh, it is actually updated at the moment. It didn't show on my icon. Maybe I've got something else going on here. Ah, it's not finished yet. Another 11 minutes. So that looks like that's going to be S soon. See, look, that is not a list of my systems. Lakuli's system, that's definitely not mine. That's center of Euclid. and none of these are mine. But if I come out and then go back in again, I get my actual 2 systems. So there's still a bug there in the settlements register in the quick menu. There's not much to do on this save. Horrible, horrible weather.
Stabilizing.
So with OP Perma is what we just looked at. Let's go to this one.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
It's weird that it gave me a storm clearing message from my other save then. Let's see what my quick menu shows me here. So they're correct. I don't know if it's got some corruption in my file. I'm not sure. Let's go through the 2-page one first. What's this one doing?
Weather warning.
It's in the black, but it's going to... Current debt is 60 odd hours worth. That only increases the debt. And I don't really care about the standing with the GEC, so let's just have them removed. I don't want to get into more debt. And sometimes I've found that guys that you bring in that come in suspicious, sometimes they seem to end up in a lot of the settlement decisions. So I'm not sure if they're deliberately designed to be troublemakers or not. Depends on who they are, I guess.
Thermal protection falling.
Doesn't seem to be anything on a timer. Oh yeah, current building project, 32 minutes. Seems that everything's in flux at the moment. Hi Captain Steve, how you doing? Let's try turning it down a bit. A lot of people say, well, what I have is I have my microphone set to dip the sound. But yes, people said the fireworks were loud the other day, so maybe I'll just pull that that's main volume down a little bit. See how that is. I don't know if it's still storming. Is that improved or is that still a bit loud? I can see it dipping when I talk, but it's still only dipping about just below half. So what I really want to do is have a look at these, have a look at these multi-tools. So I'm waiting for those factories to complete. Thanks. Yeah, I kind of use an unusual sound setup, but and I also use auto dipping, so it's all a bit of trial and error. it's in OBS, and you can use a what's called a side. What's it called? Side. I'm trying to remember. Hang on. I can't do it without changing my scene. But it basically it controls one audio from another audio. I used to use it in my editing software, so I was quite pleased when I spotted it in OBS. This has still got a while to go as well. Maybe I'm going to have to do something else for a bit. Actually play the game, I don't know. I mean, let's just demonstrate. If we go back to my original save. And go back to my first settlement. So my most developed settlement. Which is that one. Where would you adjust the stream video quality? It's messing up sound on a lot of people with stream. That's a matter of getting the upstreaming about the right amount for your ability to upstream, so your bandwidth. You get that mix wrong, it can start messing things up. I would say the update has still got a few problems. It's getting a lot better. I'm now using the experimental branch from yesterday. I still have, I want to experiment with opening a new settlement on this save. Is it this save? No, I think this save's got a full complement now, but I want to experiment to see if there are still issues with opening new ones. I've kind of avoided that, sidestepped that by kind of keep opening new ones until one works and then deleting the others. Right, so this settlement is pretty big. It's in, I think it's got about 28 maybe buildings. Not one of them is a factory. And so that's a very strange thing. Are factories rare? I don't know. But they're all either storage facilities, farms, trade things, everything else basically. Infrastructure, but no factories whatsoever. And I find that odd. So one of the features, having multi-tools in your settlement, well, that's just not a feature here because I don't have the option. And unless I get a new build opportunity. Okay, thanks very much. Unless I get a new build opportunity, I won't get a factory at this site. How's this one doing? Right, so there is a building that's been upgraded. Where is it? Over there. There's the icon. Yeah, there is an ongoing problem with how many months it says that you have. Like this one, it's not this one, but other ones on this save said 53 years that I'd been the overseer for, and I ended up having to. I actually edited it in the save file to change it to the date when Beacon dropped. the patch says it fixed those numbers. They're still more realistic, but some of them don't make a lot of sense. I think this is one of those things where if you didn't play the game until all of these patches were, with the update, until all these patches were dropped, it probably wouldn't be a problem. But anybody that's already logged into them is going to have things messed up a bit, I think. For instance, if we go here and we look at the settlement history, it says I've got a population growth of 50-odd citizens, but it doesn't even have 50 citizens. It says I have a total tenure as overseer of 5 days, but that's only because I manually edited my save to the date when it was released. It was saying 58 years. So since the beginning of time as far as timestamps are concerned. And I don't think that will get fixed unless, as I said earlier, they might actually put a fix in that says anything longer than certain, well, since settlements began, maybe it sets it to that date to make it a bit more sensible. But they're not going to know when you started your settlement if the wrong number's in your save file. So that may never get fixed. This is my newest settlement. It's a very, very nice planet, this one. It doesn't seem to mess up the settlements themselves. It just seems to mess some of the stats up. So this is like a nice golden planet with some orange and burnt red trees. It's a paradise planet. It has dinosaurs and diplos. And one of my favourite planets. It's also kind of got these, what I call, is it this over here? No. Ouch. Didn't spot that. Maybe it didn't render. The rendering distance is definitely lowered. You can see that grass just kind of preceding me. I'll jump in my ship a second. Oh, I've still got that flickering bug. The only way I know to get rid of it is to go up into space. And then back down again. It seems to happen when you teleport into somewhere. And then jump in your ship. So this planet has these dips, these hidden... I often call these planets plateau and hidden green planets, because sometimes these will have little gardens in them. And you'll also see, as well as the dips, like over here, you see plateaus. They're kind of the opposite. So the rendering is saying push some stuff up a bit. Look at the screen. Push some stuff up a bit and push other stuff down a bit. So you get these higher bits of ground that are kind of flatter, like a plateau. And then you get these dips that are kind of the equivalent, only stamped into the ground. I really like these kinds of planets. So yes, one of my favourite planets. So I was delighted to be able to start a settlement on it. Well, I'm on AMD, and I'm on an NVIDIA 4090. So I don't think it's that dependent on hardware. I think a lot of people are getting it. Yeah, I mean, that's the workaround at the moment. You just go into space and out again. think it's kind of double rendering. It's rendering two things at once. Somebody said they thought it might be something to do with trying to render the weather. So it's trying to stop localized weather happening in settlements. I don't know if that's true or not, but those kind of things can happen. That was one theory I heard. Right, so this should have something being built, but I probably need to go to the settlement first. So maybe I haven't got anything being built. Or maybe it's still got a timer on. Let's have a look. 4 minutes and 52 seconds. I should have showed off the planet for longer. Let's see if we can find the diplos. High ignition. Another stream friend got a massive buy. PS5 Pro fell through the floor into a space station. Extreme permasave. Luckily reloaded. Sometimes it will just put you back in when you fall in space, and sometimes it doesn't. It's not that consistent. I mean, you're better off, if in perma, you're better off just not waiting to see what will happen, unless you've got a backup of your save, I suppose. Found the dinosaurs. Oh, there's the difference. It's kind of got that. It's got the alien head and neck. Right, back to the settlement. By the time I get back, maybe it will. Ow. It's also got these cats on this planet. There's lots of nice things about this planet. I'm never that keen on the 6 legs, but other than that, I quite like cats. Especially the larger ones. Their running is really cool. They're supposed to have stopped that happening, going into the terrain when you're riding. At least it didn't stay under there. They can take you on a magical mystery tour under the terrain sometimes, so I think they've tried to stop that happening. So where are we? 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
Technology recharged.
Trying to stay hydrated because I've got a bit of a cold. The very first thing it asked me to build on this particular save was this tower. On this particular thing. I wonder if there's they're kind of high in the build queue to make sure you get one. Because of the perks they have. Let's see where we are. 1 minute 22. See if we can locate the building manually. There it is. Is that it? No, it's not. It'll pop up in a minute as soon as the timer runs out. I've only got the Diplo. I haven't got the cat here. Were you saying it's a pretty nice pattern on the Diplo or on the cat? Settlements don't seem to attract animals. It's a long while ago since I actually discovered the animals. There's the cat.
Units received.
There are two variations. One of them's got a unicorn head, which is why I called it Unicornus. Right, building's popped up. Oh no, it's a settlement thing that's popped up. It's not. Aha! So it's wanting me. Well, I definitely want the factory module because I'm experimenting with factories, and it's only the third one that I will have. So let's do that. Now, I wonder if that timed in because the other building completed. Take quite a long while to build, though. I think this even the first stage will take an hour and a half. So we won't be seeing that today. Or maybe we won't because the next stage takes longer as well. So what else do we have on this? I reckon it's probably time we can go back to that factory and have a look at it. So let's go to the OP perma save. Now, when I was in the factory earlier, it had a C-class multi-tool. Given that the pools seem to dictate the class of fish you get from the pool, I was wondering if the factory would dictate the class of the multi-tool. It wasn't this settlement. Let me reopen this. Maybe I won't leave anything updating for a little while and see if it gives me a build request instead. Now I find these odd. Odd has sketched the surrounding area as a test of their abilities as the settlement's specialist cartographer. Now this is a guy that I allowed to stay here earlier. They would like their work to go towards a worthy cause or as a personal tribute to the overseer. Now, I selected donate the gift last time. He's clearly saying you can do both. And he seemed to disapprove. So I'm going to do accept the gift and see if he's happier with that. He seems happy with that decision. It was a different NPC and different settlement, but I'm wondering if they actually want to give it to you. I'm going to leave the settlement running. Dust Town is my original settlement in this perma-save, which has terrible sentinels. this one. You can already hear the sentinels.
Warning. Sentinel drones activate.
That's over here. Okay, so we can unveil this. I want to see if the multi-tool changes its class. It said it will change its type. No, it's still a C class. It's not the same multi-tool though. But this is A. So if it was anything like the pools, it felt like, well, it definitely was, that the pool would only fish for one lower or higher. So in other words, if it was A class, you'd only get B class fish or A class or S class. And if it was an A class pool, sorry, if it was a B class, S class pool, you'd only get S class, A class or S class. I'm going to continue. I haven't got the crystallized helium on this side, so I can't continue.
Warning. Sentinel drones activate.
Oh, okay, let's... I kind of agree, except that it did say that he was giving it to you as a personal gift or you could donate it. And it kind of implied that he was happy with both. But then it seems like he's not happy with both. Maybe after, the next time I get something like that, maybe I'll track the happiness and see if it changes. It's nice they gave us more options and choices for these things, but the conflicts are just as ambiguous as ever. Who's at fault? No idea. There's never any evidence. Yeah, that's why it's interesting to try and kind of track them a bit more closely. For instance, trying to keep an eye on when you bring a settler into your building, for instance, into your settlement. What we got? If I find 2 people, I will do that and get more money into the settlement. Doesn't matter if there's an innocent guy in there. So I'm just wondering if it affects the happiness. I should have checked that. Wonder if the building's location and hence the cabinet's location determines the class of the gun, just like the position of a place, barrel, or crate. You would have thought so, but I've seen 2 different C-class multi-tools. Maybe I should check what the multi-tool situation is here. Let's maybe go to the space station. If there is one. It's actually... yeah, it's a wealthy system. It also specifically says that it changes in the patch note, in the release note. It says it gives you a different tool every day or some words to that effect. So that's the one we've just seen down the bottom there. That's a B, so that's kind of compatible. And that's an A. We go directly back again. mean, maybe it just switches pools, so we'll have a better insight into how pools work.
Warning. Sentinel drones activate.
There's also this thing that's not fully understood, where the guy on our freighter, if you put the NPC, the specialist, multi-tool specialist on your freighter, then on some weekends he offers you an S-class. And it also seems to be, I believe, the same weekend that he offers you an S-class, you'll more likely see it an S-class in other places. So there's some odd timing thing going on. And everybody will get the same. They'll all go to on those specific weekends. I've had someone notify me that it was the weekend for the S-class, and I went to my own specialist and it had the S-class available. Right, so this is the specialist. I'm going to take a note of this guy's name, see what happens. He's a specialist relic hunter. And he's underling Nihin Sad. So I can also open my factory in the other save now. So that was the possibly after Titan. It's in the Shield Wall one, the one where it's on a Paradise Giant.
Thermal protection falling. Temperature levels stabilizing.
So, settlement Shield Wall, there we go. So let's have a look at this multi-tool. It should now be available to look at. It's B class. Okay, so it's not related to the class of the building because this has only just been built. Where's the exit? Oh, it was at the other side of the multi-tool, wasn't it? So here. Could hardly see that one. This is the welding soap one. This is why I think it was Alpha said that they'd had welding soap, and I said I'd not seen it. It's because I didn't have any factories. I don't have any on me. Or rather, I only had one factory that I hadn't noticed. So welding soap is technology. That's black market. Have they got any more technology? Yeah, one here. What we'll maybe do before I set this one going to upgrade, we'll see if the pool changes when we load on a different spot. The same as an ordinary cabinet. Grab all of it for now. Also, see if I can pull up the patch notes that mention it. Release log. Okay, right. So if I go to here and put my browser back on, factory buildings at settlements now generate a multi-tool box which refreshes its contents each day. So that's the question is, what do they mean by refreshes its contents? Does that mean you can claim the same one each day? Or does that mean it changes the multi-tool each day? First things first, just double check it's the same. Is that the same? It's the parallel loop translator anyway. And it's a B class. Door is just behind there. So first of all, just check that this is the reload for this planet. Yeah, flickering again. I'm not getting the flickering after a reload there, but I have reloaded before and it didn't fix it. Now that's Sleep of the Nexus. So let's... Well, this is what I'm wondering, is if when we increase the factory, whether it somehow makes the multi-tool better, but it's... we'll have to track it. It's another thing we'll need to work out. Because this is a gas giant, so we're bound to go through the atmosphere here. I actually quite like it when it does this, as long as it doesn't stop me. you get too low, it sometimes stops you dead. They might have fixed it though, so it just skims the atmosphere instead. I've actually got my my old iPad running my chat system, so I don't have to keep pausing in order to click on people's chats. So I can do this without interrupting things. So that's a nice C-class here. That wasn't what we saw down on the planet. Let's see how I wanted to and reload here. That's the one we saw on the planet. Sleeper Nexus B class. Is it an experimental or is it a pistol? Yeah, it's an experimental. Sometimes when they're smaller and they don't have any of that the stuff around them, like around the like the tubes and stuff, I'm never 100% sure because I'm not a multi-tool expert. Yep, it is an experimental. Right, so reloading here. Yeah, although it's a C class, if you like that look of that experimental, I didn't discover this system, so it'd be churlish not to give out the glyphs. It's going to, there you go. So they're the glyphs if you do like that experimental. I really like that they put the galaxy now on there. How long have we been asking for that? Yeah, there's a very similar looking generic multi-tool. There are a number of those. You can find them in cabinets as well. There's not just the starter one. It's probably going to be more likely whichever one's in this cabinet if it's based on the pools. So this is the Surge of Tongues. So theoretically, if we teleport down there now, it will be the same. What's the shield? Good to have the seed value. You mean the seed value of that experimental? I can possibly grab that. C-class loop of certainty. There wasn't C on the thing, was it? Go back again now just to double check. That one, wasn't it? And not this one. which you'd have expected it to be. It's slightly strange. All right, let's reload on one of the moons. Seems odd that it would switch from one pool to another. Mind you, I've always said I don't necessarily think that the most common description of how it works is necessarily how it works. So it could be that we don't quite have an understanding of how the pools work. Reload store point. But this is a new random thing, isn't it? You'll have to experiment and see how it works. My hunch is go back to the space station, see what the two multi-tools are there, and then teleport back. Maybe I should also have a look, see which one it is in the freighter at the moment. Which one the multi-tool specialist is handing out. So, in this cabinet we have Kusarsen's Chronoatomizer at C class. And in this cabinet we have Overloaded Light Probe at B class. So, these have been consistent classes here. We're getting the C-class one. Let's have a look what's being handed out in the freighter. I presume I've got... I might not have the NPC actually because of this save. This save was a very specialist save. It might not have... I might not have progressed any of the settlement guys. Get a strange visual glitch when I come into this freighter. Every time it just shows like a some kind of corrupted texture, and then it disappears. Have any NPCs here. I think if I was to put one in, it would just start from the beginning of the story, so I can't test that. Probably need to test that one on the other save. it's going to take a while for the other save to complete its upgrade. So we might have to put a pin in that one for a bit. So we needed to reload on this planet to get that experimental, didn't we? I believe. So let's do that. Go to the space station current system. This side. Just going to set a restore point so I don't want to actually claim this. I can claim it temporarily. And then we need to wait for so we've got the restore point at 1416, so we want the autosave to kick in. For a bit. While I'm doing that, I'll pull up the save editor. Maybe interact with something. Haven't got the restore point yet. Oh no, it was. That's the autosave. So we should be okay now. Okay, we've got that. We've got the seed. Let's go to save editor. That thing's in the wrong place. Hang on. There. So, don't know if you can read that seed, but I'll read it out for you. It's 0 times 1 A for alpha, 8 7 D. What's D? Donald. 2 4 Foxtrot Delta 8 Foxtrot 6 7 Foxtrot 9 4. So 0 times 1 alpha 8 7. Just forgot D again. I said it a minute ago. Delta 2 4 Foxtrot Delta 8 Foxtrot 6 7 Foxtrot 9 4. I suppose I could just put that into chat, couldn't I? you go. So that's the skin. For anybody that doesn't know, you can take a multi-tool of a similar type and put that seed into it. So it would need to be an experimental in this case. So yeah, I think we're a bit up in the air about exactly how the pool system works for the factory and whether it changes per day or whatever. We'll have to see. Is there anything else to do in this settlement? Okay, so terrarium is a nutritional. So this is a farm. I've got the dirt. That will take that to S class and make that maximum. So that's a good one to do. Got that lip problem where I can't just walk into the settlement easily. So something's pending. Okay, now I had another mission the other day and it still hasn't given me any negatives. So I'm going to authorize all missions until I see a negative. I mean, they give us a bit of debt, but... we're in quite a lot of debt anyway here. We're only just in the black productivity-wise. I'm sure we can improve that. I don't think we've got anything. I think we've got a timer. Oh no. Whenever you do that, send an expedition out, make sure you switch back to the settlers. And then you can see what's going on here. Farm module is upgraded, so over there. So that pushes that to S. So that's now maximally producing. About 67,000, not bad for one building. Because I hadn't actually been looking at factories, I'm interested to see if factories are on par with farms. Because yesterday I was making a declaration that farms are definitely the most profitable buildings, but I hadn't realised that I just didn't have a factory to compare, or I hadn't noticed the one factory that I had. So I'm going to have to slowly increase the factory. See if they're on par with... I imagine they might be on par with farms. So the one I haven't been to most recently is this one.
protection falling.
Got a settlement decision here too. That productivity bump is pretty nice. Yeah, we're going to go for that. Cool. Another farm. So the way that this particular experimental branch has fixed the problems with getting out of that celebration screen too quickly and then causing a problem accessing thing is it won't let you out of the celebration screen. It stays. Even when you try and cancel it, it stays up in the air. It stays up here. A lot of people were expecting to be able to use these. I would like it to reflect what we're growing. So if we select a growing plant in the settlement decisions, then it would grow that plant, but we wouldn't be able to harvest it from here. We'd only be able to harvest it from the other interface. I'm thinking if I've got the things, go and take this further. Yes, I've got the dirt. This is slowly getting quite profitable, I think. Tower as well. So this was a pre-existing settlement. It has the pioneer spirit, which means that was given to us free as a perk. Not quite sure what it does. I guess I could remove it in the save editor and find out what it does that way. They're all a little bit opaque as to what they do, those rewards. It'd be nice if you could hover over them and it would tell you what they did.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
This is also in the black, but with 60 odd hours. Again, a farm. Actually, what did that take it to? S. This one's a farm as well, look at it. It's also S. Glacial dwelling, housing block, omni-processor plant. I think that's a warehouse. It's also S. Have they updated this? But yes, they have. I think I might have done everything but the houses. Small house, sleeping pod, multi-story dwelling. Multi-story dwelling. Luxury habitation. Glacial dwelling. Housing block. Advanced sleep pod. Autonomous nutrition. We'll do one of these smaller housing blocks and see if they're quicker. See which is the smallest. That one seems quite small. I mean, they won't bring it into positive, but it will reduce, will increase productivity and reduce the amount we lose. Yeah, they're about 20 minutes, so at least for that first level. So they might be worth doing for quick gains. This is... It's a sleep pod as well. My early decisions all seem to be focused around making the settlement as profitable as possible, as quickly as possible. But I guess the other way to do it would be to upgrade as many buildings as quickly as possible. So starting with the smaller buildings and working out. So this has got 150,000, still a long way. It needs more profitability, or at least a little bit less overheads. Did I just already go there? I think I did. Yes, because I was talking about how it was an original. Just says collect resources. I'm not sure if thermic condensate is the one that you never get brought back from frigate expeditions or not. It'd be nice if they complemented. There's one of the things in the, if we go to what would be an example? We go to cryo pump. So there are three things that build each of these secondary parts. That you get enriched carbon and nitrogen salt will build that thing, and then this thing supplements it to build that thing. And if we're looking at one of the others, it's different combinations. So the other ones would have enriched carbon and thermic condensate would build the first level thing, and then nitrogen salt would build the next level. And then there's one more for the other one. So that, and then this would be the second level. And so that's how the crafting tree works. These three items are key to being able to build these items. And those items are the cryo pump, the superconductor, and the fusion accelerant. If we quickly look at another one so it makes more sense. We go to the fusion accelerant. So you've got thermic condensate here now and the enriched carbon, and then we add the nitrogen salt later to get the fusion accelerant. So there's 3 possibilities. You add two of them together and then the third one, and you get the thing that it makes. And these each give you one of the parts of the tree. If we were then trying to build, say, a stasis device, then here we have the thermic condensate and the nitrogen salt combining to make a semiconductor, and the enriched carbon added to make a superconductor. And here we have the enriched carbon and the nitrogen salt making hot ice, and then adding the thermic condensate makes the cryo pump. So as you can see, having these 3 items is vital for the whole tree. Now you can grow them, you can kind of get the nitrogen in, you can kind of farm the nitrogen on a planet, and then you can kind of get oxygen to make your carbon, keep making carbon. You can always make condensed carbon in a refiner, you just kind of multiply it with oxygen. So you can do it that way, or you can do it the kind of hands-off way. Some of these things get brought back via frigate missions, but 2 of the things don't get brought back. At least one of these things and one of these, either the uranium, the mango gold, or the grantin, I can't remember which. And so if you wanted to make the iridesite, for instance, one of these things wouldn't be coming back regularly. And I believe one of these 3 things doesn't get brought back regularly. So it'd be interesting to know if the one that we're growing here is that one that we don't often get from our frigate missions. Just a bit of a thought. I need to dig into it and see if that works, but it would be nice if that was the case, because then you'd be combining 2 different subsystems. Where are we? Which save are we in? Back to the original. I can't remember if I've got anything timed to be complete now. Yeah, you do get some of those craftables in other ways. The best way, if you really want to just go out and grab loads of them, is to find the depots, because depots will often have all of those consumables in them. So if you go to a number of depots on a planet, you can grab loads of them instead of farming them. So there's kind of an aggressive way, a passive way, and a farming way of getting those things. So this is 40 minutes. Got at least a request there. Sorry, I didn't spot you'd mentioned the planetary depots. I just read the first part of your message. Oh, that's not going to do that. Let's do it here. I tend to endorse these because it's the biggest bump in happiness you get, really, is these events. It does add to the debt, of course, which will slow this down, but that's not too bad in this one because this is a more established settlement. Yeah, floating crystals. You then break those down. Right, nothing going on here, so I can probably build something now. Oh, here, in the time between this stream and the last stream, I've upgraded the fishing pond to S. And certainly so far, it's proved true that it's only caught one lower or higher than that. So I've got no bait at the moment. It could do flotsam with no bait, we'll see. It does while it's upgrading. If you try and fish while it's upgrading, you get flotsam. So that's A. And I don't think we're going to get lower than A now that it's S class. Fireworks are very persistent. To just catch them free. Unfortunately, you can't release in it. I don't know. That's a bit of an oversight. We have to go to the thing then. As Gravnaut is asking, if I try and release here, must be in water. Now I am standing in water. That seems to be a bit of an oversight into the system. Now, this is a water planet, so I could release them. And obviously, you're going to get a higher nanite yield. Let's just experiment, see what the nanite yield for that is. I don't think the water's that close. I'll probably have to take off. Where's my ship? Over there. Yeah, it doesn't seem to let you do the normal things. So all of these things I've caught in my inventory are all from my pool. So it's a kind of semi-passive nanite yield. So I got 868 nanites from a bit of fishing in my pool. Now I presume the baits still will increase chances. Interestingly, I do have on this save, because I don't have the full fishing roster, catch roster, I don't know what you call it. I don't have the thunder thin, so it'd be interesting to see if I wait for a storm whether it will catch the stormfish, which is of course an A, I believe. It's purple and that's, yeah, so it's an A. Of course, storms won't happen when you want them. Nothing being upgraded here, so what's that? That's B. Maybe I should do that. I think I've got all the farms done here. Let me have a look at my spreadsheet. because this is my main save. Yeah, one of the trade centers could do upgrading. It's 2. That'll be the one. Where's the tower gone? Have I got any decent? Yes, I've got some bionic lure, so let's see what I get with a bit of bait. Probably going to continue to get the same things. I wonder if you only get the commons as well. What would be the uncommon? What would be the A class? Lush. So whip scale data, deep water angler, sunspine basket, or colossal mossback. So if we get any of those, we'll know that you can get from the biome. Yes, that's from the biome. This cold hasn't got me yet, but it's definitely caffeine time. Just missed that one drinking some drink. It's the last bait, so. So we only got A's, but I did get S's the other day. And I don't think it makes an awful lot of difference. No, I did have more bait. That's strange. I don't think it makes an awful lot of difference if you got bait or not in the pool. There you go, got an S. I didn't have any bait at all then. I mean, it'd be a quite easy way to get a sprinkling of nanites. It's not like one of the best and fastest ways to get nanites, but if you needed 500 odd nanites for something, it wouldn't take long. I'm not sure if it's a bug. I think it's just that this is a pool, you know. I mean, we don't know for sure if it gives you exactly the same with no bait. It just doesn't seem to really reward bait. I mean, we could do like 100 comparison. I'm not really up for that right now, but we could do like 100 catches without bait and 100 catches with bait and see if we get more S's with the bait. It's possible. I'm just suggesting that if your aim is to get a few nanites, then A and S are good enough to get nanites. A is good enough to get a few nanites. So you don't really need to worry about the bait. I believe the singing sea snail has got pretty good nanite reward. Let's see what we've got. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's round it up. Let's get 10. Let's see what kind of nanite yield we get from 10 fish. Those ships are coming down lower frame rate than the frame rate I've got. They're coming down almost like in 20, 30 odd frames per second. It's like they've slowed the animation down. Right, so I believe I've got 10 now. So 4, maybe I didn't count this one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I've got 11. That messes up the calculation. I didn't count that other S class. So where's my ship? Clicker. Actually, I'm just over the hill now. Still got that odd thing where the these are coming out of the ground. It's still flickering a bit, isn't it? Clearly the rendering hasn't recovered. So 1,309. That's pretty good yield for doing very little. Not really having to focus on much. Let's reload a second. If you like fishing, just like I don't, then it's an ideal way to get nanites. Upgrade your pool to S class. Policy decision. Let's go there. It's got that thing where I'm stuck in the middle again. I need to fix that. S-class farm. Research public goods or research camouflage measures. I'm never really that bothered about the sentinel attention. Especially not early on. It doesn't see... I think they've decreased the number that we get. I haven't had many since this update. So we're in the black here, but in 66 hours. I don't know if I've got much that's profitable that I can build here now. I'm beginning to wonder is if you're continually grinding your buildings, are you not getting build opportunities? Because I don't think it will offer to build anything while something's building. But then when you return and it's completed, I think you can get one if it's not unveiled. So I don't know if it makes a lot of difference. Let's upgrade that. Another settler request pending. Back at the Diplo planet. If you've got enough saves, you can pretty much just play this minigame over and over and over, just like I've been doing. I mean, I've been doing it for research reasons, but... Endorse the event, deny the request. I endorse events. And we're still in debt here. So we've got 20 minutes before something completes. I may have been around this a couple too many times to really... I sworn I did that. Let's just reload. Sure. Let's do it now anyway.
Technology recharged.
I hope they haven't started losing things again in there. It's really nice that they fixed that. That's what I should do here. Conflict resolution pending. What are they arguing about now? I like that we occasionally we get the option to find both of them sometimes now, because sometimes they both deserve it. Settlement construct Mamayeka was caught manipulating prices on the Galactic Trade Terminal. Well, we have done that ourselves. It is noted that the accused has no criminal record and insists they will not repeat the offence. give us a share, and then we'll call it evens. We've got a farm here somewhere. Showed me there. The icon disappeared. There it is. The icon was there a minute ago. Now A class. I'll have to put this into my spreadsheet in a bit just to double check my values, but do that off stream. Might as well, if we've got the things, might as well make that S. Yes, we've got the dirt. Doesn't like the icons on this film today. Maybe it's because I'm too close to the rooms. So this is 7 hours, so that's actually nearly to the point where it'll be giving me things. Which for an autophase one that's only started a couple of days ago. Let's see if the thing has got the right recording. Oh yeah, this is in my normal save, so this is what I fixed. So this is 5 days, yep. Because I fixed it myself. So having been around all of them a couple of times, learned a few things. Got a bit confused by the factories. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But considering I've got a bit of a cold, I think I'll probably call it a day at 2.5 hours. So 2 hours 25 minutes. So I will say cheerio. Travel well. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Goodbye.